Thinking that milk or dairy is going to build healthy bones is a lie. It's a total scam. So we're going to talk a little bit about dairy today. My name is Dr. Droliviajoseph. I'm a functional medicine practitioner, and I've been practicing functional medicine for 20 years. So I am not new to this. And there's a lot of appeal to dairy these days, where in the world of nutrition, we've been poo-pooing it for quite some time. Let me talk about why. And all of a sudden, it's gotten a lot more popular lately, really with the ketogenic diet becoming so popular. So a lot more people are consuming fat, and dairy oftentimes is a big part of a ketogenic diet. So let's talk about the bads. What we know about dairy is it is acidic. Humans are intended to drink milk from other humans for about our first 2 years of life. And when you look at other animals do not drink milk from other mammals, okay? They only drink from their moms, that's it, and then there's no dairy in their life. So it's definitely important for your immune development, for your growth development, especially in the early years of life. But what we know about dairy from American diet, or from American dietary standpoint, is milk can do a lot of bad things too. So we see children who drink too much milk with low iron levels. So drinking huge amounts of milk can actually lower your iron levels and cause anemia in children. This is a big deal because it can cause speech and developmental delays in young children. Another thing we know about milk is it's a mucus producer. So if you look at how many children are suffering with acid reflux, ear infections, runny noses, we know dairy produces mucus. It is not in question. Dairy can also make you more constipated because it is mucus producing. So when you look at these common ailments in children like constipation, ear infections, runny noses, sinus issues, allergies, acid reflux, it makes sense to pull dairy out of the diet. To think that dairy gives you enough calcium to build strong bones is totally ridiculous. To build strong bones, you need healthy hormone levels. You need healthy physical activity. You need weight-bearing exercise. You need enough protein. You need enough vitamin D. You need enough vitamin K. You need enough magnesium. These are the things that are super deficient in our society, not dairy. Dairy is not deficient in our society. And if dairy was building healthy bones, we would have the strongest bones in the world. But yet we have the highest rates of osteopenia, osteoporosis, and hip fractures in the world. We rank between number 1 and 2 for the highest rates, and we rank between 1 and 2 for the highest amounts of dairy consumption. So thinking it's for your bones doesn't make sense. And if you drink non-dairy milk, they're all fortified. Regular milk is fortified with calcium. It is fortified with vitamin D, and not even good forms of calcium and vitamin D. It's fortified with types that are pretty hard to absorb. Versus what you get in nature. If a cow lives in the sun, it's making vitamin D. And if a cow eats grass, it's getting things like vitamin K and calcium from that grass. But when we raise an animal on grain, don't expose it to the sun, not only do they get sick, but their milk does not have those nutrients, so then they have to be fortified in. But those nutrients are fortified in all milk, including non-dairy milk. Who do I recommend cut dairy? I recommend everybody take a break from it and just see. See if you notice any changes in mucus, in coughing, in sneezing, in ear congestion, in bowel habits, bowel function, skin rashes, anything like that. I'm not saying some people can't digest dairy. There are some types of dairy that are easier to digest than others. So people who are extremely dairy sensitive can't even have butter. They have to have, you can use ghee, which has the milk protein removed, but people who are really sensitive to dairy might need to avoid it completely because they're sensitive to casein. But there's another milk protein which is called whey, which is found in milk, but when you turn milk into a lot of cheeses, a lot of that whey protein is broken down. A lot of that lactose protein is broken down. So just think about it. If you know you have an issue with lactose, you probably have an issue to other milk proteins. It's not just lactose, which is a sugar found in milk. To my point, sugar is in milk. A lot of people don't realize that, is that some people consume dairy thinking it's great and it's high in protein. It's also very high in sugar. When I see people with type 2 diabetes, one of the first things I take away from them is milk. So I know some of you are gonna agree with me here. Some of you are gonna have questions, which I'm happy to go deeper and talk about. And some of you are not gonna agree with me, and it's okay if you don't agree with me, but I will tell you, I have seen thousands and thousands and thousands of food sensitivity tests in my 20 years in practice, and no matter how you slice it or dice face it, dairy is in the top 2 most allergenic foods. That and wheat are the top 2 most allergenic foods that I see. And we know that about 60% of the population has food sensitivities. So there's a higher likelihood that you have a sensitivity to dairy than you don't. So if you need help with finding out what foods are good for you or bad for you, and you're looking for a functional medicine practitioner to work with, feel free to reach out to my team. I'm with the Wellness Connection. Me and one of my functional medicine practitioners can help connect you to a better relationship with food and knowing what food is good for you or bad for you based on what it does in your body. Click the link in the bio and like and share.